Thanks, Palmer. Dario, obviously, coming back, so congrats on that and getting a new deal. Just was curious in terms, just take us through that process of how that came about and what led you to end up staying with Phoenix.
To end up what?
What made you end up staying with Phoenix? Like what, just take it through the process of free agency and how you guys were able to come together to make this happen.
It was kind of first time, for me, for my family to be in that kind of situation. I was back home in Croatia. Obviously, it's like time difference, like 8 or 9 hours difference. And kind of, always my first wish, it was, to stay with the Suns, to play again with the same guys, with same coaches, with same organization, 2 years in a row. That was my first goal. And obviously, we have like a great run in the bubble, and it was first thing in my like wish list, let's say. But all this process was kind of hard, time difference. I was like waking up, did anybody text me? Did my agent anything say to me? I was in contact with the coach too. It was kind of pretty couple nervous days for me, and kind of everything just figured out in a right way for me. And I'm just happy and glad to be back here.
Next up is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, and he'll be followed by Brendan Clean.
Hey, Dario, good to see you. I just wanted to get your thoughts on Chris Paul and the acquisition of him. You've been in the league now a couple of years, seen him on a couple of different teams, and just the way that he operates on the floor. What are your thoughts on him coming to Phoenix and getting a chance to play with him?
Yeah, it's a great thing for us, First thing what was in my mind, when I saw Chris Paul coming back to Suns, I was like, thank God I don't need to switch anymore on him in the defense and guard him. But I'm joking a little bit. It's just a great thing for us. I want to first say big thank you, to all other guys, to Ricky, to Kelly, to Aaron, to Frank, to all guys who was with us last year. And obviously, when you get some guy like Chris Paul in your team, like 10 times, 12 times All-Star, such a great career, Hall of Fame. It's just big upgrade for us, and kind of he will be like right hand of coach on the court, and of course our game will just upgrade another level for next season, and I'm so excited to see him, to learn him something from him, and just to have fun on the court.
Next up, we have Brendan Clean with Bright Side of the Sun, and he'll be followed by Greg Moore.
Hey, Dario, good to see you. Between the regular season before COVID and the bubble, you played a different role on the team in the bubble. You were more of a center a little bit, coming off the bench, scoring a lot more. Do you envision that being your role again going forward with this team? Have you talked with the coaching staff about any of that yet? I'm just curious how you see yourself kind of fitting this season compared to last season.
I think I will kind of adjust, every situation, what coaches put in front of me, if they wanted me to come off the bench to be productive from the bench, I will try to do that. If they wanted for me to start and play in the first unit, I will do that. It's kind of, I don't want to put any pressure on me, it's better if you start, if it's better if you're coming from the bench, Obviously, I just want to play hard with team, get some wins, and if coach choose me to play 4, 5, 1, whatever, I will do it, Just I think all our guys need to adjust on every situation what coaches put in front of us, because if we are all in the same page, it's kind of going to be easier for us to play and get wins during the season, and that's how I think. I will just on every situation what coach put in front of me. Obviously, I was starting, I was coming off the bench, kind of. I had some experience, how to handle that all situations, and I will just, be happy to have minutes and to play hard on the court.
Next up is Greg Moore with the Arizona Republic, and he'll be followed by Dwayne Rankin.
Thank you. Welcome back, man. It's really good to see you again, man. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
You are from the same hometown as Drazen Petrovic.
Yes.
And Drazen passed away, I think, about a year before you were born.
Yeah.
Clearly, he was an amazing player. Did people talk to you about him growing up? Did you have any experience with his coaches when you were coming up and really starting to become a ball player?
Yeah, I have a great story. My father was a basketball player back in the days in that time. And my father was his teammate, you know. Obviously, they are like kind of similar generation. My father is 1959 and Dražen is kind of 1964, I think. And they were kind of together a couple years in my hometown. And they won the championship of ex-Yugoslavia. It was just amazing story when you listen, when you heard that, you know, when you heard the people in the city, what they talk about that particular situation. But story about Dražen, you know, I had it from the first hand. You know, my father was every day on practice with him. You know, he had a great story about him, you know, how he was a really hard worker. He was coming before everybody in the gym, you know, take a shots, you know, dribble around the chairs and kind of take a shots. It's just amazing story. And obviously, when you grow up in a city like that, you know, all people know each other. Is like small city, like 40,000-50,000 people, and kind of everybody know each other. And you just heard great stories about him, how he was very big player, like a legend for us.
And then to follow up, who taught you how to shoot? I'm wondering, when did you first realize that you had a jumper that was going to separate you, that you were going to be a good shooter?
I don't really. I was when I was younger, kind of I was playing with the ball all the time in my hands. But once you grow up, you know, you get position for and kind of in a modern position for like a power forward, you need to shoot. You know, if you want to stay and play, you need to shoot. And kind of I was developing my game, you know, through the years. And kind of, you know, what I say, sometimes you had a good night, sometimes you had a bad nights, but like you just want to feel comfortable on a court to take their shots. And kind of, it's hard to say how I learned. It's just from like 16, 15, you take a shots at the gym, you know, every day. And after a couple of years, you know, you learn how to shoot.
All right, Dario, next up we have Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, and he'll be followed by Kellen Olson.
Dario, there's a lot of guys that wish it was that simple to be able to shoot, but I'm just going to follow that up with just curious. You know, you talked about you wanted to stay with the team. You didn't want to, you know, have to be on another team as far as why choosing Phoenix. What else made it big for you to stay? Was it, you know, teammates, coach, city,
kind of everything was in my mind, you know. Like obviously they give me some trust. Then when they trade for me back last summer, and kind of I want to, you know, come back here. And obviously I wanted to play at least, you know, 2 seasons in a one team. And that was my first goal, you know, to have some setup, you know, to learn how the coaches are doing, how they're working, to learn the head coach, you know, to learn the other guys, you know, just to have a like good situation, you know, to be just like a, let's say, fish in a sea, you know what I mean? Like to be comfortable on the court. And that was my first goal. And after that, you know, obviously we have like a great run in the bubble, you know, guys show up like really nice identity, you know, to play hard every game, to even if we had a practice in the mornings, like a lot of guys was coming afternoon, you know, and taking shots, you know, for 30, 40, 50 minutes. We were practicing like 2 times a day, you know. I think you can see in the eyes of the guys, like they are really focusing to do something. And when we come here, Now, same thing, you know, you can see guys want to do something, you know, obviously, you know, for Book was a kind of hard time, you know, these couple of years, but now he had a situation, he can come and play off and do his thing, you know, come in at the same level like a biggest stars in the league. And I think he can do that. And obviously, like, other guys are there to help him, and you know, just kind of angry dogs, you know, who want to play hard every games, who want to compete every games, like for 72 games for 48 minutes, and that's the only way how we're supposed to play.
All right, next up is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports.
Hey, Dario. In the bubble, one of the things that was the most noticeable was the way you guys moved the ball offensively. You guys were great at it during the season, but it felt like you guys took it up a notch or two. For a guy like you who really loves that style and loves the ball moving like that, can you kind of describe the feeling in the game when you see it clicking together, and how that can just raise everyone's confidence, and just that overall feeling of knowing the offense is going to be moving like that?
Yeah, I had a feeling in the bubble, like in every moment, all 5 guys was in a great situation to score the basket, you know, like all 5 guys was dangerous to score the basket. It wasn't just one guy who was like getting buckets and like all other teams are just focusing on him. I get the feeling like all 5 guys on the court was able to do something, to score, to make a cut, to make a right play, to make an extra pass. And I think that was the real reason why we were so good in the bubble. Like all 5 guys had the ability to score. You know, all 5 guys was dangerous to score. And kind of, you know, when you have a situation like that, obviously it's easier for Book, you know, to play, to get the open plays for him, you know, like maybe they will not double T him again, you know, and that kind of stuff. And we were just sharing the ball, playing fast, you know, we didn't have some positioning plays like, you know, stay, wait, you know, play for 20 seconds offenses and something like that. You know, we were just running down the court and just make plays, you know, just play free basketball, talented basketball, and that's why we were so good.
All right, Dario, next question comes from Jordan Baker with Back Sports Page.
Hi, Dario. Jordan from Back Sports Page. Chris Paul just recently called himself an open book, and I know you just said you would love to learn from him. So what exactly would you like to learn from him?
I think, you know, he had a great experience. He had a like amazing playoff experience, you know. It's just really too hard to say right now, you know, what I will learn from him. I think when you come on a court, and when you see him, how he run the plays, how he run on the court, how he make plays on a court, is just thing you can learn from that. You know what I mean? I think all guys will be able, you know, to ask him for some advice, for something, you know, but I will try, you know, to watch him and learn every his move. Obviously, you know, we are totally different position, but kind of his experience, you know, will really help us and really help me, you know, to improve my game and my teammates' game too.
All right, Dario, and our final question comes from Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Dario, you joked about you know, switching on Chris, or having to call Chris Paul. Obviously, he's a you know, welcome addition to you guys. But what about the other guys? You know, did you have battles with Jay Crowder and any of those guys? And just maybe your thoughts on the other guys added.
Yeah, we put the Chris Paul in a like a only guy, but we have like a couple guys too. You know, we have a Jay Crowder who when I was in Philly, he was in Boston. He was always tough player to play. You know, he can shoot, he can dribble the ball. Like, he was having a great run with Miami last year. Obviously, he was in the league. He's in the league for a couple of years. You know, 7-8 years, maybe even more in the league, and kind of his experience, you know, with this addition, you know, with our young guys, you know, I think will be amazing. You know, you have a Damian who was in Golden State, in Atlanta. When I see him, how he works every day, you know, obviously, like, we can expect something, you know. Jalen Smith, you know, rookie year, he had a lot to learn, you know, from other guys, but you can see he's very talented, you know. For sure he need some time, but I think he's ready to play, you know, too. And I think I don't want to forget somebody, you know, but obviously this team is full of talent, you know. You have like 10, 11, 12 guys, 13 maybe, who can really play in every moment, you know, who can start, who can come on the bench, and that's the real our power there. And I really don't want to forget somebody.